Hello there, my name is Lynn Donovan, and I'm the theologian in residence at St. Andrews in Picton. And tonight I am gathered around the Advent wreath, having just lit the candle of joy. Come close and listen to the voices of the ancients, to the message of the prophets, to the silence of the angels. Come close and listen for the heartbeat of the holy, to the yearnings of the lowly, to the hunger in your heart. Come close and listen to the voices of the ancients who glimpsed another vision, who sought another way. Come close and listen to the promises of poets, painting stories that are doorways to the joyful cosmic song. I love the stories that we read in Advent because they are all stories or poets or songs. And it is through this poetry that we catch the glimpse of the movement of the mystery. One of the archetypes that is woven through our sacred text is an archetype or a movement that goes from captivity to liberation to celebration. The first manifestation of that story happens with the escape of the Israelites from Egypt, and immediately when they get to the other side of the Red Sea, Miriam grabs her tambourine and invites all the women to dance. For in that mythic founding story, they have gone from living in captivity to being liberated and then moving into this time of joy and celebration, although it doesn't last very long. It never does, before they find themselves in another kind of captivity, captive to their own fears and anxieties and lack of trust, because most of us actually have a hard time with liberation. It would seem that captivity, even if it's just in our own heads, is a place that is more familiar. And so we pick up this theme again in what I will call the prologue of the Gospel of Luke. So we're introduced to Mary, who is a young peasant girl who finds herself pregnant outside of wedlock. She was engaged to be married to Joseph, but she was still a virgin. And so, oh my goodness, is she in trouble? And again, these birth stories that are a prologue to the ministry and teaching of Jesus are meant to give us insights as to what is to come and what is, in fact, this cosmic intention. And Mary is such a model of trust. So in this story, rather than choosing to hang her head and hide in shame and wait for the worst, she decides that she will trust the message of the angel who has told her that she is to be a vehicle for a wondrous gift from God. And she claims that story. And part of her claiming that story within the sacred text is her breaking into this song where she recognizes herself as just not one person who received a gift, one person who is invited to bear God in her belly. But she recognizes that she is just one among a whole people. And she sees this as part of the ancient cosmic story of liberation unfolding. She recognizes their present captivity to the Romans, captivity to poverty and despair and hopelessness, And she claims once again that this holy mystery has broken through and has claimed them and invited them to live out of a story of liberation and joy. And so I invite you, where in your life, or maybe just in your head, are you living in captivity? And are you prepared to trust that you too have been invited to be a vessel of this cosmic mystery? How are you being invited out of captivity into a place of liberation and celebration? That is the invitation that comes with the lighting of the candle of joy, daring us to accept that we have been both made for joy and invited to give birth to more joy. And yet at the same time, coming to terms with all the places we are held hostage by our fears, our anxieties, our grief, and our disappointments. And to recognize as well that the invitation is never for us alone, but it is for the planet. And we are invited to take our place as being part of this movement, rebirth. I wish you good consideration this day, good friends, as you answer the call to be liberated from all that holds you captive. And then with your heart and your voice and your feet to dance for joy.